Welcome to the comprehensive course on Aluminium Dross Management and Value Addition, designed by Jawaharlal Nehru Aluminium Research Development and Design Center, an autonomous body. Under Ministry of Mines, Government of India, this course is designed to provide you with in-depth knowledge about aluminum dross, its processing, applications, and impact on the environment. Let's explore the course structure. This course offers a comprehensive overview of aluminum dross, beginning with an introduction that covers its formation, composition, and characteristics. It addresses environmental concerns and promotes sustainable practices to mitigate its impact. Additionally, the course explores processing methods and potential commercial applications. What is aluminium dross? Aluminum dross is the residual waste material generated during the aluminum melting process, which poses risks to the environment. Millions of tons of aluminum dross are produced globally during the casting or remelting of aluminum. On average, 10 to 20 kilograms of dross is produced per metric ton of molten aluminum. In India, 2 to 3 lakh tons of aluminum dross are generated annually. Dross formation processes. Aluminum dross forms during the melting process due to surface oxidation and subsequent reactions. The process steps are outlined here, with adjacent videos illustrating the flow of molten aluminium. Initially, oxygen reacts with molten aluminum to create an oxide layer on the surface. Movement within the molten bath disrupts this oxide layer, exposing fresh metal to further oxidation. The broken oxide particles either sink or float, accumulating on the surface and forming clusters through agglomeration. The molten aluminium will trapped in oxide clusters, leading to further oxidation. The dross is skimmed to prevent metal loss, and during cooling, some aluminum drips off, while the rest undergoes more oxidation. Efficient handling and recycling are crucial to minimize aluminum loss and optimize resource use. Aluminum dross is classified into white dross and black dross. White dross contains 15 to 70% metallic aluminum, silvery appearance, generated in primary aluminum production and valuable for aluminum recovery. Black dross contains 5 to 15% metallic aluminum, dark and granular, produced during secondary recycling, with lower recovery potential and higher impurities. Both types require careful handling to mitigate environmental and safety risks. Aluminium dross. Characteristics. The typical chemical composition of aluminum dross is presented in this table, highlighting aluminum metal and alumina as the primary components that influence dross quality. Other constituents such as aluminum nitride, aluminum carbide, and fluoride content are also mentioned in the table, which make this dross environmentally hazardous. The physical properties of dross are outlined in this table, categorized by size into granular and fine dross. It includes details on properties such as density, porosity, melting point, and other physical characteristics. Environmental impact of dross. Aluminum dross is hazardous due to its reactivity, releasing toxic gases. It contains heavy metals and salts that can pollute soil, water, and air. Improper handling risks health and environmental harm, making it classified as hazardous waste, requiring safe disposal. The life cycle assessment of dross, shown in the picture, involves bauxite mining, energy-intensive alumina refining and smelting. Dross, containing valuable metals and hazards, can be recycled to reduce waste and energy use, but improper disposal leads to contamination, ultimately contributing to climate change, fossil depletion, human toxicity, and other environmental impacts. Dross processing. Aluminium dross processing varies between primary and secondary industries. Primary industries focuses on efficient aluminium recovery using advanced technologies like rotary furnaces, plasma arc systems, and presses, while secondary industries manage leftover dross from primary operations through two main methods. First is salt-based technologies, which use flux salts such as NaCl and KCl to improve recovery but create toxic slag requiring further treatment. And second is non-salt technologies, including mechanical separation, advanced thermal processing, and hydrometallurgical techniques, which yield cleaner byproducts. The increasing adoption of non-salt methods highlights the industry's focus on sustainability and minimizing its environmental impact. These methods are mentioned in the accompanying chart. Metal recovery processes globally focus on extracting aluminum from dross. The process begins with hot dross, where it undergoes mechanical agitation to separate metallic aluminum from impurities. During this stage, inert gases are introduced to maintain an oxygen-free environment. The remaining solid residue is crushed, allowing larger aluminum particles to be extracted through sorting and hand-picking. Subsequently, the residue is sieved and screened to maximize aluminum recovery. Further grinding and milling separate the remaining aluminum metal, while fine dust, which cannot be treated further, is collected. The first step recovers 100% aluminum, followed by flat cake crumbs, 90 to 70% aluminum, concentrate, 70 to 50%, and coarse residue. Fine dust, 5 to 15% aluminum, poses a challenge and is often sent to landfills. Dross handling practices in India. There is no organized sector in handling dross in India. Primary aluminium industry generates around 80,000 to 1 lakh tons of dross annually. More than 2 lakh tons of dross is generated annually by secondary industries. After recovery of metal by metallurgical process, remaining reject is dumped in environment by primary and downstream industries, which is a great concern to our ecosystem. Commercial applications of aluminium dross. Extensive research has been conducted on dross recycling to reduce landfill waste. Here are some commercial applications of dross. Aluminium dross used as a filler in concrete and asphalt. Utilized as a source of calcined alumina. Used to produce water treatment chemicals like polyaluminium chloride and alum. Employed in the production of castable refractories. Used to manufactured into tailor-made steel slag conditioners. Also used for producing zeolites and other specialized applications. JNARDDC developed a bench-scale dross processing unit that handles 20 to 30 kilograms of dross per batch. The setup includes a leaching, filtration, and evaporation unit for efficient metal extraction. The leaching unit, made of borosilicate glass, equipped with an agitator and heating mantle for uniform mixing and leaching of dross. Gases produced during the leaching are vented, scrubbed in a water tank. A bottom discharge valve allows easy removal of the liquor. A 20-liter vacuum filtration unit was designed for filtration purposes. The leaf filter outlet is connected directly to a 20-liter borosilicate round-bottom flask. The solution flows from the upper vessel through the Buckner funnel to the lower vessel. A flow adjustment valve is also given in the filtration unit. The evaporation unit, designed to remove excess water, includes a 100-liter glass reactor, condenser, and 10-liter flask for water collection, with a bottom valve for efficient liquor removal, ensuring a smooth operation. The water collected is again recycled for further leaching. This setup will definitely help to achieve zero waste. In-house R&D on aluminium dross at JNRDC. A project had been undertaken for the complete utilization of aluminum dross to achieve zero waste. Polyaluminum chloride, PAC, a water treatment chemical, had been prepared on a bench scale, and the remaining residue had been utilized for producing alumina castables. A bench-scale plant had also been designed and developed for polyaluminium chloride preparation, with alum formation successfully carried out at JNRDC. To advance dross utilization, the latest technologies have been implemented. A polyaluminium chloride production unit was designed, as shown in the accompanying image, along with product images of polyaluminium chloride, castables, and refractory materials. These efforts have significantly contributed to waste reduction. Thank you for your patience listening. For more details, visit our website given on the screen.